we're going to talk about some interesting things, something that I know that you are quite familiar with, cancel culture.
My favorite. I love it.
Oh, gosh, you actually got booted off the show or off of Twitter after the first time you appeared on my show.
I did. And so many people were like, did you get booted off because of Adam? And I was like, did I? I don't know. He's that
Don't you
powerful.
put that evil on me. I didn't do that. No.
No, you definitely didn't. You definitely did. But that's the power of a Trump retweet. It gets you permanently banned off the face of the earth.
Yeah. So wait, what did he retweet that you posted? Like, what was it?
Dude, it was literally the most neutral video ever. It was people singing the Star Spangled Banner at his first Million MAGA march.
What?
Mm-hmm. And he ended up retweeting it, and then everyone in conservative media started retweeting it. It was a beautiful moment, that it was one of my favorite moments that I've ever seen. And so, it went viral and ended my entire reporting career on Twitter.
And you know what it was, though? They need, more than ever now, too, it's apparent to me that they need these Trump supporters to be villains. They need them to be evil, just the worst. And actually, there's a few things we're going to be discussing tonight that's really going to drive it home that they're really saying that. It's like, so that was a peaceful video. There was no violence. It was them singing the national anthem. Like, what?
And you know what else, Adam, too? So my Instagram account, because now that Twitter's banned, I'm trying to grow my other social platforms. So on my Instagram, I actually went and I was reporting on the Capitol siege, and I had posted up clips of people being both peaceful and then people fighting police officers. And, again, when I go and report on the scene, I basically go and I show what's actually going on, and I try not to interject my opinion too much. And so I was trying to keep it neutral and show both sides. Every single post that I put up showing Trump supporters at the Capitol being peaceful or stopping Antifa from, sorry, give me 1 second.
You're off the show. That's it.
That's it. I ruined it. I'm banned.
Cancel culture. No, it's fine. You were saying every video that you were posting on Instagram about
every single video that I posted of Trump supporters being peaceful, them stopping Antifa from breaking a window, them chanting USA, USA, them saving police officers from other people who wanted to hurt them. Every single one of those videos was taken off of my Instagram account for inciting violence and showing domestic terrorism. But every single video showing people fighting with police, people being pepper sprayed, people being punched in the face is still up on my Instagram untouched.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so they're definitely painting a narrative. So great to see. So great to see.
Yeah, Instagram actually removed my picture because I was there on the 6th also. And so I went and listened to Trump speak, and I took a picture of what seemed like thousands and thousands of Trump supporters. And I went over to see the Capitol once I heard what was going on over there. I didn't go in it. I didn't go, I was standing in the street, and I just took a picture, and it was just people covering. It felt like it was ants on an anthill. That's kind of what it looked like to me. And I just wrote, this is history, whether you like it or not. I mean, it's history. I mean, they're driving it home that it's like this crazy thing that happened. My goodness, insurrection. It's like, all right, well, isn't that history, whether you like it or not? I mean, and they said it was removed for inciting violence. I'm like, how did I incite violence? It was just a picture of it. Just simply like, this is history right here. Believe it or not, like it or not, it's history. Boom, inciting violence.
Yeah, funny how Instagram works that way. I think they were also, this initially started off too with them deleting pictures of just people posing with their guns, because apparently just a picture of a gun is inciting violence. So we're not allowed to have any freedom to share pictures anymore on that platform either. And like I said too, Adam, the thing that made me so upset about the way that Instagram was deleting posts was, again, every single thing that was showing Trump supporters being peaceful and just going there to have their voices heard on that day, deleted. Yep. And then everything showing them being violent, being domestic terrorists, and, everything that the left is trying to paint them out to be, every single one of those clips was left up for, and again, like what I guess they would deem inciting violence. All of those are still up.
It's ridiculous, because that's the narrative. They have to drive it home. I mean, that's on all fronts. Like, the Democrats are just making it clear to all of their supporters that Trump supporters are evil. If you're on their side, you're not evil. whatever they do, it's not evil. And actually, what we're going to talk about, there's a few different examples of this exact hypocrisy being played out. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Gina Carano thing that's happening, that she got canceled, and the hypocrisy of like what Disney says is okay versus what is not okay.
Yeah,
it depends on what side of the aisle you're on. I mean, if her co-host did practically the same thing and was being defended and boosted up, where she was saying some based stuff, and I have a few examples that we're going to talk about. And it's ridiculous to see. If you're a Democrat, you're allowed to hate and compare things that are going on to the Holocaust, but if you're a Trump supporter, you're not. Well, like, whoa, how dare you?
And that was one of my first thoughts too, Adam, was, I'm sorry, have people not been calling Trump supporters straight up Nazis for the past 4 years now? How come it's okay for one side of the aisle to, use the Holocaust to their advantage and, again, cast Trump supporters in a negative light? We just had, this reporter come out and say, my Trump supporting neighbors plowed snow out of my driveway. You think they're Nazis?
What?
Did you see that story? So
no.
That's the left. Yeah. So apparently her neighbors were Trump supporters, and they went and they plowed snow out of her driveway. And she was like, I'm grateful, but I'm also upset because they support Trump and they're Nazis. So it was the most baffling story ever. Yeah, she was a writer for one of these leftist publications. I can't remember if it was like Huffington Post. It was one of those types of publications. But again, we see from the left this rhetoric. We've seen it for the past 4 years. And even too, I'm not watching the impeachment trial. I think it's such a waste of time. Why would I spend my time and energy rotting my brain cells like that? Right. But even with the impeachment trial, we're seeing, the rhetoric of the Democrats saying that, again, Maxine Waters, Trump supporters aren't welcome here. Go up to them. Go tell them that they are not welcome. Versus Trump saying, go and peacefully march at the Capitol. You look at the two types of rhetoric and how much differently they are treated in society.
And they're not even giving the full context too. That's the ridiculous part. Like they're reading Trump's tweets and they're going, look, he's saying that we're going to go fight. But then it's like, if you continue reading and you get the full text of the tweet, that he literally said, peacefully go and have our voices heard. Peacefully. Like he basically said, let's do it peacefully. And then later on he said, whoa, please go home. Violence is not acceptable. And it's like, they're not talking about that kind of stuff, And
the other thing too, Adam, is so Elijah Schaffer, I work on his show as well, Slightly Offensive. He and I were both there reporting together. He actually ended up going into the Capitol, and he and I were there from the beginning of that whole entire siege on the Capitol. And Elijah ended up actually working with the New York Times to make a chronological timeline, minute by minute, of when Trump's speech ended versus when the Capitol siege started. And based on that timeline, and again, anyone with common sense can go and Google this and look it up for themselves. I believe the siege in the Capitol happened 10 to 20 minutes before his speech even ended, before he even directed people to go peacefully march. So again, we're just seeing, and we'll get into censorship too later on in the show, I'm sure, how the reason there needs to be censorship is because if there wasn't, then people could simply go and look up the reality of what actually happened for themselves and understand that we're being fed a lie every single day.
Yep. Exactly.